today's video, we're going to be taking a look at vital baits.
The Kraken.
So firstly, what is the Kraken? Now, I'm not talking about old Scandinavian folklore with the Kraken sea-dwelling beast, but that name is kind of loosely linked to this, and that's obviously why they've called it that, because sea-dwelling, that's what you're going to get from this. It stinks, overriding sort of smell of squid and octopus. That's the main sense I'm getting from this, and it's a fish meal bait. So that is the basics of what this bait range is. So what's actually inside these baits, what makes them what they are? To start with, it uses a high quality fish meal base mix. So it's good for the fish, breaks down nice and easily, it'll pass through the fish nicely, so it gives them lots of nutrients and keeps them coming back for more. But also inside this, you've got 10% of krill powder and Spanish red pepper. So although you're getting a lot of those fishy scents and flavors, that Spanish red pepper also gives it a bit of a kick and some heat to it as well. But to chuck in some extra flavourings and attractors, you've also got squid and octopus and betaine chucked in there for good measure. Now the makeup of the whole thing, it's got bits of eggshell and things and different textures. That just helps to let the bait break down, release all of those good flavourings and nutrients into the water, and hopefully draw them fish into your swim. If you like this sort of content and much more, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram for daily posts. Now what's in the range? Starting with the Boilies themselves, they come in a variety of sizes. You've got 10mm, 14mm, 18mm and 24mm, so suits for all different venues and different kind of baiting approaches you want to go for, whether you want big donkey chokers or little baits just to get them grubbing around, then they're available in those different sizes. Moving on to hook bait choices, there's a plethora of different ones to choose from. So to start with, you've got the little dumbbells. So I'm actually using these today in conjunction with the solid bag setup. So I've got a bit of pellet in there, a bit of the Groundbait mix, which I'll get onto in a second, and then these little dumbbells as the hook baits. So nice little 10mm hook baits, perfect for a solid bag and just small items of food. I'm feeding little bits of broken boilie in that, so that should do me do the job today. We've also then got balanced wafters. These are available in both 18mm and 14mm, similar, well, virtually identical colour to the Boilies themselves, so match the hatch style baits there. We've also got some hard hooker baits. So these, as you can imagine, are much firmer than the rest of the baits. Now I had some in my hand earlier and just trying to squeeze them as hard as I can, and it takes as much strength as I can in my hand. I may not be the strongest person, but that took all my effort to eventually break that open. So if you're fishing waters where there's perhaps more nuisance species or crayfish, I'm sure they'll slowly start to weather away at that, or you're fishing rivers, places when you want to leave your baits out for a much longer time, then the hard hookers come into their own there. Moving on to the pop-ups available in the range, you've got 3 different colours available: your natural, your white and your high-vis pink, all of which are available in either 14mm and 18mm. Now this obviously has the same flavourings as the rest of the range, but just to give it an extra bit of boosted attraction, it's had 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗄𝗎 resin added. I hope I pronounced that right. Some of you may know exactly what I'm trying to pronounce there, but something, just a little extra boost to give these a bit more of an edge over everything else in your swim. Now for a bit more attraction, if that's not enough for you, you've got a couple of liquids in the range as well. You've got 125ml bottle of the bait dip and a 500ml bottle of the glugs. It's just an intense smell of squid and octopus. If you want to soak it in your boilies before a session, really soak in all those flavours so that when it's breaking down out in the water, it's releasing all of that flavour. And then the bait dip, again, an intense smell of squid and octopus. This also has added salt extracts and amino acids. Next up, we have the Groundbait. Now this comes available in a 3kg bucket like so. Now in here, all the same sort of attractors as you'd expect as is in the rest of the range. Also chucked in here is little 10mm soluble boilies, again the Kraken range. There's also different little bits of oyster shell. You've got the red pepper in here again as well, so it's quite a nice colour as well, golden brown sort of makeup. With all these little bits in it, it's just lots of stuff to get the carp grubbing around, a bit of texture, but it also adds a lot of flavourings and attractors into your swim as that breaks down and floats up and down through the water column as fish kick it up. It's sure to get the fish grubbing around in your swim nicely. And the only other item that I don't have with me today is the stick mix. Much the same as the Groundbait, it's full of all the different attractors that goes into the Kraken boilies with the krill, the red pepper, oyster shells and things, but there's also some little pellets in there as well, just to give you the perfect mix for a stick mix. So that is the range as a whole, everything that's available in the range and what goes into it, and the makeups, the smells that you're going to get from this sort of bait. So if you're a fish meal fan and you like your squid and octopus sort of smells, this is the bait for you. And as you can see, there's everything in the range that you can need for different venues, different bait approaches, different attraction levels. You've got yourself covered here. But how does it actually perform? I'm using it today on little solid bags with the dumbbells, as I mentioned. I've not given myself very long to catch a fish, so it's probably not a fair test. But the first time I came across this bait, myself and Luke went over to Czech Republic. It was the Sonic Tackle trade show. Vital Baits were also there, and they were supplying the bait for the trip. And as you can see from the fish that we're displaying now, we caught some awesome commons to upper 30s. And that was our first session on that lake. Never been there before, never used the bait, and we all, myself and Luke, both caught, at the time, personal best commons. So it performs well, it performed well for everyone on the lake, so it stood the test. And you've also got the name of Frank Warwick behind the bait now, so hopefully I'm meeting up with him in a few weeks' time to talk through some more of the other baits and things. But we've also caught up with him before, so check in the description below where Frank talks through some of the bait ranges and why he moved over to Vital Baits. So you've got him involved with the bait plans and everything that goes into them, so someone that's been around for a long time, knows his stuff about bait and how it all works in the water. He's putting his knowledge into these baits. So you know you've got a very professional angler who knows his stuff, putting all of his knowledge into this bait. And here's the result of using the Kraken today. Probably got about an hour of the session left. I've gone and caught a 20 at £20, 10 ounce. This one came to one of the little dumbbells, solid PVA bag full of the ground bait and pellet. And I actually added some of the boilie dip to this one. Not the boilie dip, sorry, the glug, just to give it a bit of added attraction. And this one's gone off, so I can go home happy now. Brilliant. So for more information on all of these baits and everything else that Vital Baits has to offer, then please head over to their website. But for now, cheers for watching, and I'll see you again soon.